You are Locked On Astros Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Houston on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, that was not a fun night at Minute Maid Park for the Houston Astros as the Tampa Bay Rays come on in and they don't necessarily crush them. I mean, by the final score, they did 6-1, but they slap them around a little bit, play the long ball game. The Astros can't get anything going at the plate, and, well, what do you know? You drop game 2 of this 3-game series, rubber match tomorrow for the finale in this one. An important baseball game for the Astros. We'll talk about that in just a bit. We got a lot to get into tonight here on the Locked On Astros postcast throughout, whether that being Ronel Blanco's start tonight, the bats being cold, and then tomorrow's baseball game. We will cover it all between now and the next 25 to 30 minutes with you here tonight as we do this show. Real quick update. Mariners and Phillies are playing. Phillies threatening, it appears, in the first inning with 2 on and 1 out. It is a scoreless baseball game there. I'll give you updates. And Philadelphia just took the lead 1-0. So hopefully that holds on for the whole game because there's a lot of baseball left in that one. Thanks again for joining us tonight here on the Locked On Astros postcast. This edition of the Locked On Astros postcast is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more as the playoffs wind down and the sports stop sporting like we want them to. But this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day. All summer long, visit FanDuel.com to get started. So for the Astros tonight, let's start off at the plate. How about this? I'll give the positive. Now, his base running wasn't necessarily positive, but how about Pedro Leon's – I know his strikeout there at the end of the game was not great. I'm sorry, I'm trying to pull up the Mariners game on my 4 screens that I have in front of me to see if they're able to get home another run. But the fact that Leon gets a shot down the left field line, he gets a little aggressive with it. I'm not too mad at that in that moment. I know that there's nobody out. It's just whatever. Gets thrown out. He was safe, actually, if he didn't get his hand off the base there. But it was a hard slide to keep your hand on the base to let your momentum going away, and he wasn't able to do just that. So, for Leon tonight, he hit the ball hard in that next bat. Did strike out, like I mentioned in the last one. But I'll you know what? That was a solid debut for Pedro Leon. Hopefully that continues for him moving forward. I don't know how much playing time he's going to get. I don't think he's going to play every single day, of course. He's going to be like Loperfido was. He's not going to play a lot all the time. That's okay. Easing him in to an extent, I think, is okay at this point of the season. What I do know is not okay is the bats just doing big fat nada. You go up and down the line tonight. They only had 5 hits. 1 from Altuve, 2 from Jordan, 1 from Singleton, which was the only run, of course, the home run, then 1 from Pedro Leon. That's it. You got offers out of Dubon and Myers and Pena and Bregman. The whole thing kind of wraps around getting Kyle Tucker back. And I get it at this point as a fan base. It's frustrating to keep hearing this same story every day with the Kyle Tucker thing and being like, if you missed the quote from Joe Espada today, let me give you the quote for the game today in terms of what he's thinking with Kyle Tucker. I'm pulling it up. Asked if Kyle Tucker could return in August, Joe Espada replied, "I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to happen. It's not going. Excuse me, I'm having trouble reading tonight. I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to happen. It'd be fantastic. It's kind of day to day. See how he feels. It'd be too aggressive to say we'll have him by the end of the month. It's a possibility. Like I early on in that period of time when he got hurt, I was one of these people who's like, look, he fouled the ball off his leg. What do you want them to say? He fouled the ball off his leg. Okay, it's been like months now. tell us that he's got a fracture in his shin. Like, because obviously that's what's happened. There's no way he hasn't fractured his shin because it's been way too long for a contusion or a deep bone bruise. I know the deep bone bruise is like that in a spot where, I mean, look, we've all hit our shin in life. It's incredibly painful. And taking a baseball that you hit off of a bat at a high rate of speed into that shin is awful. But good Lord, I mean, this kind of goes back to the deadline and how they went about it. It's nights like tonight where you go, you know, they really could have used another bat. Could have. Because, you know, they don't have a lot of length right now. We all know in the world where baseball is right here for the Astros, Jeremy Payne is never hitting fifth. Honestly, Jake Myers is never hitting seventh. Those guys belong down in the. It's simple as that. They've got really good hitters in it, but they're missing one of their big boppers. They need Yainer Diaz to be slotted down to the 5 hole to lengthen this lineup out and help it out a little bit. But they can't do that right now without Kyle Tucker. And when they have bad nights, these things blow up and you notice them. Like I noticed them tonight. And I'm not saying that, of course, Kyle Tucker comes into this game and makes any difference. I mean, as I always try to remind everybody when these kind of things happen too, you do have to also tip your cap to pitching on the other side and say they went out and they executed their job tonight. The entire Tampa staff did, from Littell to 1, 2, 3, 4 guys that use out of the bullpen. They all came out and did exactly what they're supposed to do. I mean, the Tampa bullpen tonight pitched the final 3 1/3 innings, and they gave up 1 hit and had 4 strikeouts, no walks. That's execution. That's doing your job at a high level on a given night. That's exactly what happened tonight against the Houston Astros. They dropped this series, or not the series, they dropped the game tonight. They have a chance to still win the series tomorrow, the rubber match, 1:10 first pitch for that one. We'll see what the standings look like at the end of the night. Of course, as I mentioned to start the show, I've got the game on my screen here. And it's tied. Oh, no, it's not tied. Randy Arozarena hit off the top of the one right, but he was inside the baseball. Phillies are leading currently 1-1 there in Seattle. We'll talk about Ronel Blanco's night here in just a moment because it was not bad, not great. Let's go ahead and give an assessment on what the Astros got on the Blanco tonight. Next, on the Locked On Astros Postcast. For right now, I want to tell you about FanDuel. I love sports. You love sports. And of course, what makes sports more fun? That's, well, watching them with FanDuel. FanDuel's got every single game out there with lines across the board. You can get in on the action, whether it's baseball, football's coming back. You also have all the summer activity going on across the pond over there in Paris. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a booster bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. Go to FanDuel.com. Start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. One more message for you before we get back to that Astros discussion. Following the loss of the Tampa Bay Rays, why don't you get your supplies from the site that's made for skilled trades? SupplyHouse.com. SupplyHouse.com is the reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands and get your order delivered right to your door with fast shipping from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Get expert support and industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the business. Talk to a real person every time. Pros of the skilled trades can get a competitive edge by joining SupplyHouse.com's free Trade Master program. Every Trade Master gets access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership at SupplyHouse.com/TM and order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at SupplyHouse.com. Locked On Astros Postcast on a Saturday night. Thank you for those of you that are joining us here tonight. I know it's easy on a night like this to go, whatever. Dog days of summer, right? August the 3rd. The Astros went out there tonight and just laid an egg. Simple as that. It happens. In a 162-game season, it will absolutely happen occasionally. And unfortunately for the Astros, it happened tonight where they went out there and just, didn't have it. Not their best night. Ronel Blanco, not his worst night, not his best night for the Astros on the mound. It was an important start. We talked about this a lot last night, kind of previewing tonight's game, with Blanco needing to bounce back from what he's done the last couple of times, that was give up 4 runs in each of those starts. They really, really, really needed a good start out of him. And even though he doesn't get past, 5 innings tonight, that line that he had, you can live with. 5 innings, 2 runs, 6 hits, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks. Did allow the 1 home run. That was the frustrating part about tonight's baseball game. It's not like the Rays crushed the baseball out of the ballpark. They hit these little dinky, just sneak over the fence home runs all night long. But again, that's baseball, right? I always say it. Baseball does baseball, and baseball does stupid stuff sometimes. That's kind of what you got with an element of this baseball game tonight out there between these two teams. They needed Blanco to have a bounce back type of thing. It happens. The bad starts that he had recently, they happen. I think it's easy to forget sometimes that this is a player in Ronel Blanco that has never had this kind of workload in his life ever. He's never pitched this far into a season as a starter, ever. He wasn't even brought in, signed, when he came into the Astros system as a pitcher. It's taken years to build up to get to this point, and they made him a starter last year, and, look what's happened. If that's his bad night, again, you live with it. I thought the stuff looked a little bit sharper tonight in some key spots. Fastball, he spotted pretty well. He got some swing and miss with that. Against this Rays team tonight, his slider, I think, based off what they know matchup-wise, they obviously targeted the slider. His slider looked good, and he got a lot of swing and miss on it. He still got his typical swing and miss with his changeup. He just left one pitch, really, that got over the fence. The one thing that was annoying tonight, which isn't like him necessarily, is that he played with fire quite a bit. He got a lot of guys on base. And eventually, when you continue to put guys on base, you're going to run into trouble at some point. It's just as simple as that. And you saw it. It finally kind of bit him there in the butt. And he gave up that home run and gave up the lead. And the Astros bats did nothing to help him. And that's got to be frustrating, of course. I mean, it's frustrating for you and I to watch. A guy goes out there and look, he gave the starting pitcher's job is simple, correct? That's not a simple job to execute, but the task of it is simple in our minds. Go out there and give your team a chance to win the baseball game. When you leave the game, a chance to win the baseball game. He did that tonight. It's exactly what Ronel Blanco did. And his baseball team did not give him a chance to pick up a win. He moves to 9-6 now on the season. ERA did tick up a little bit to 2.98. Hopefully, they can get in some run support next time. Hopefully, some of the good that he's, of course, had in this baseball game tonight carries over into tomorrow night's game. Or not tomorrow night yet. He's not going to pitch 2 games in a row. Into his next start as well, because they do need him to continue to pitch at a level that we've seen him pitch at for the majority of this season. Behind him tonight, bullpen-wise, Caleb Ort, he, he's a little bit interesting, right? How he's kind of never really landed. There's plenty of guys that are like this, though. Once they get an extended period of time in the big leagues, you'll see what happens. But, I mean, look, this guy is, what is he, 6 2/3 innings in with the Astros now, and he's given up, one run? And he's got 9 strikeouts to 0 walks so far, and he's basically throwing 100. I mean, if you can walk yourself in, and that's always the game that we play with relievers. And when we talk about finding relievers, it's not that it's easy to find relievers, but you always are going to kind of default into somebody at some point having a hot streak and getting really good. And maybe Caleb Ort is coming up here at the right time, and based off the way that he's performing, he's gotten some chances. You've given him a little bit of run. A couple strikeouts tonight, did give up a hit, but that was it. Taylor Scott, gives up the 2 home runs. Yandy Diaz won. I mean, that ball was the only other ballpark that ball gets out in Major League Baseball is Yankee Stadium. But look, he played in one of the 2 ballparks that it gets out at. It went over the fence. And then the other one to Low, which it was Low, right? Not Lau. I get it's family, whatever, but however it's always been said, it's just so odd. You got one guy that spells it. You got both guys that spell it Lowe. One guy says Lau, the other one says Low. Just go with the easy way. It's Low, right? It's Low. But Taylor Scott will give him a pass. He's been so good, so consistent this season overall. Then Caleb Ferguson's debut is 1 good inning, 1 bad inning, right? How Singleton didn't come up with that ball, I'm not really sure. Give it a couple of runs, but he's not a guy that is Caleb Ferguson's going to be pushing into leverage innings. He's just an arm. He's a major league arm that doesn't have to keep being the Tubins and the name all your replacement level guys. We'll see if Seth Martinez can go back down there. It's still odd that he got back down the pine league or whatever. Get himself together, come back to this club, and really do something. But it didn't matter what the pitching again did tonight overall, because again, you don't go out there and you don't help your starter out or your relief pitchers out by getting runs in the baseball game, then you're not going to win baseball games, correct? I know it's a very simple thing to say, but that's just the truth of the matter. And, we'll see if they can find a way to score some runs in a baseball game tomorrow. Let's talk about tomorrow's baseball games. We'll start to wind things down here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. We'll do that next. Right now, I want to tell you about your drink. Now, for me, I walk around with this big, if you're watching on YouTube, this big, massive water jug, 100 ounces of water. You all would probably be sick if you knew how many times I drank this today. Minimum 4. I'm not even kidding. I drink a ton of water. That's the only thing I really drink. There's water, a little bit of coffee in the morning. But what's in my water, a lot of times too, is liquid IV. Because, well, I work out twice a day. So I sweat a lot. Burning a lot of calories. I'm burning a lot of everything, and I need to get myself rehydrated. I need to have electrolytes in my system, and Liquid IV provides that. In my house, I'm telling you right now, on my counter, my kitchen counter, I was just over there a minute ago. We've got 2 bags of it currently. We buy ours over at Costco. Guess what? We've got 2 big old bags of Liquid IV, and my favorite flavor in the sugar-free bags that we have is the peach. I absolutely love the peach. It's delicious. My water tastes great. It makes me feel better when I need to get that hydration level back up with those electrolytes every single time. They got so many great flavors. It's not just those 2 that I mentioned there, or that the flavor that I mentioned there of the lemon lime that we drink as well. Just go check them out. You just tear, pour, live more. 1 stick plus 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. No more thirsty summers. When you indulge in hydration, Liquid IV, you get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at checkout. 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today by using code MLB at liquidiv.com. Locked on Astros Postcast continuing here on a Saturday night. Thank you guys for stopping by. Appreciate it. I'm not going to lie to you. I did not, because I've got the Mariners and Phillies game up. My bad, guys. I haven't checked on the comments tonight. I'm sure y'all are fighting each other because the Astros made you mad tonight. That's okay. Just be nice to each other. Fight like brother and sister, or brother and brother. Don't be mean, right? What's the point? We're all here to enjoy baseball together. Tonight it wasn't enjoyable. Tonight it sucked. It happens. You're not going to dominate every single game. Get the result that you want every single game. And the Astros sure as heck did not get that tonight against the Tampa Bay Rays. They will get the chance to, and by the way, as I'm sitting here again watching the show, it's still 1-0 Phillies, bottom of the second there in Seattle. Mariners with a runner on and one out. Mitch Haniger at this show at this moment. So we'll see what happens there again. Oh, and they just picked off the runner at first. You hate to see it for the Mariners. Dylan Moore just got popped over there. Bryce Harper through the count. Tomorrow, the Astros need to get that win. Simple as that. They need to get their bats going. I think you go and look at kind of what the bats have done in the last few weeks. I guess we could probably take it back to, let's take it back to the All-Star break. Came out of the break. They didn't score a lot in Seattle, but Seattle's got really good pitching. So, you take those as they are. Of course, the Oakland series was booty flakes. They only had one game where they hit at all. First two games of the Dodgers series, they went off. Nothing in the last. Pirates series, first couple of games, nothing. Of course, had a decent enough game, given a lot of gifts against the Pirates in that final game. And then yesterday against Tampa, just 3 runs, 1 run today. They got to get it going. They really do. They got to get hot. They got to find a way to get the bats hot and get to be dangerous to play. And I know that this is in tomorrow's game, by the way. Did Tampa ever name a starter? They did. Hunter Biggie. Biggie Small? Bigge. What a name. He does not look like Biggie Small. He's only listed at 6'1", 205. He's not listed at 6'1", 205. But he doesn't look like he's 205 in the pictures. I can tell you that. He looks skinny as hell. He's made 0 starts this season. So that's got to be a bullpen game. He's only pitched 5 in the third. So there you go. He's going to start. It's going to be tough, though. Those kind of games are tough because of the number of arms that you see in a single outing. And the Astros don't have a lot of familiarity with the Tampa Bay Rays. That stuff does matter when you play those games against teams that go with the bullpen days. For the Astros tomorrow, it's the spaghetti man, Spencer Arrighetti. Which guy shows up? Always a great question. You just really never know. He's a rookie. He doesn't have a lot of control. I could say that he doesn't have a lot of control. He doesn't have unbelievable command, what I should say. But he's coming off a pretty good start in this last one against the Dodgers. 6 innings, 3 runs, 4 hits, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks. If that guy shows up tomorrow, the Astros have a pretty good chance of winning. It just comes back to their offense doing anything. They can't keep putting up these 2, 3, 4-run games and expecting to get victories. It's just not realistic. I wish it was, but it's just simply not. That's not baseball in 2024. And they're playing kind of the exact opposite of that right now. Wake up. Do something. Maybe tomorrow show up and, don't go out there and take batting practice, whatever it might be. So we'll see. Appreciate you guys for stopping by and joining me tonight here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. We'll do it again tomorrow afternoon after Astros and Rays the 1:10 first pitch. So 4 o'clock-ish. Be right here. Same channel. Same person talking. same people like you in the comments. Even more, spread the word. Subscribe to the channel. Get it on out there. Come back and join us. Get everybody that you know to watch the show as well. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. Talk to y'all tomorrow right here on the Locked On Astros.